Hello guys and welcome to another track guide video, and today we got Grand Valley Highway 1 and I will be using this Porsche 911 on racing hard tires. I know the racing hard tires are a little bit difficult to master, but I can just try to explain what I did and yeah, hopefully in the end make your lap a little bit better. So without further ado, let's get going. And let's get going with the track guide, and I like to leave this car in 5th gear so it's revving up as maximum as possible so you can get a couple of miles per hour, not more than that, and just as you pass the 300 meter mark, that's your braking point. As you can see, I'm going in this turn a little bit wide and I'm going in 1st gear, and just as you try to accelerate, which is usually at this point, I'm upshifting into 2nd gear. So you can downshift into 1st. I don't think it's quite necessary, but it did help me in this occasion. As you can see, I was really getting a lot of speed out there, and yeah, I don't think it's really a debate if it's about 1st or 2nd, and just turning as you reach this bridge, and just make sure that you don't overdo it because it's very easy to get a penalty right there. But here, braking between the 400 and 300 in the straight line at the 100 turn in, and don't try to brake as much because the car will slide. I had a bit of a slide here, I must admit. It wasn't huge, but I think in the end it got me about 50 milliseconds, maybe even more, and I lost a little bit of that time. So here, going a little bit wide, and then when I reach this point, when I go into this kind of banking, I like to press the brakes at about 50-ish%. Just make sure that the car doesn't slide that much. Of course, it's going to slide, but you want it a little bit. So it's actually sliding a little bit. It's 2nd on the way out, 3rd upshifting. The car will get loose, and in the middle of this section, you want to brake. I don't have an exact braking point, and it's one of the toughest on the track. And here, I like to kind of cut this corner, but not cutting too much, because otherwise you will pick up a penalty. And as I go in here, I mean, the Grand Valley is a pretty obvious one, and then downshifting into 1st gear just to get the rotation, a little bit of power in 1st just to get a kind of a power slide out of this one, and 2nd gear on the way out. I lost a bit of time, I lost a bit of speed, but I mean, in the end, the whole track is definitely one of the hardest that I've done so far. So here, it's the 100, or a little bit before the 100. You're downshifting once again into 1st, 2nd gear, kind of in the middle of the turn. You don't want that the car is sliding a lot. You actually want to slide a little bit through the turn, but not that much. And here, just as I get through the marbles, I don't like to go that wide, but just about so I reach this point going out in 3rd gear. I mean, I know it's a very, very demanding section and a very demanding track, but there is no other way of explaining things here because it's just it's just incredibly difficult to explain anything. But here, it's the 100 meter sign. I brake in the straight line a little bit, and as I enter the tunnel, I start slightly turning. I mean, I'm talking about a very, very slight turning, otherwise the car will slide. And you're in 1st, once again, you're in 2nd, and as you get out of the tunnel, it's a little tap on the brakes, nothing much. Wait a little bit, climb onto both of these curbs, and just make sure do not cross the limit of getting a penalty. Otherwise, this is gonna be a complete nightmare. I mean, even though I really tried, I mean, that last section got me. I mean, I was always a little bit in front, and then in the last section I was always cut off by at least a 10.5 or maybe even 2 tenths. So it's a very demanding circuit. I hope I explained most of that, and this one was a 46.4. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, you can always smash the like button, or you might even want to subscribe to the channel. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye. I think this is gonna be a little bit faster.